Celia Grossman here from Naturopath Solutions, sporting a nice new hairstyle. I thought to launch my new weight loss program called Be the Real You, or Be True for short. I thought I'd be true to my roots and go back to being curly again. This weight management program is based on the ketogenic diet. It's not the classical form, it's a modified form to encourage weight loss. Now, you might say, oh, I've heard about the ketogenic diet, it's another fad diet. Well, I would say that most diets out there are fad diets. They don't work long term. The ketogenic diet is quite different. It is scientifically based. Its beginnings, or its modern day beginnings, happened in the 1920s when doctors were very concerned about epileptic children that were having frequent and severe seizures, and they needed a treatment that was going to reduce that frequency and that severity. They found through their research that fasting, when someone fasts, they produce what's called ketone bodies. And these ketone bodies have been shown to help people with epileptic seizures. The thing is, you can't really fast children. Children are growing, they've got huge nutritional needs, and you can't do that. So they went back to their books and they went researching some more. They wanted to know what could mimic fasting that could create these ketone bodies. And what they found is when they put these children on a high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet, still leaving protein intact, so every meal would have protein, they found that these children had increased quality of life, that it was highly effective. This was the main treatment for these children for the next 2 decades. But then with the advent of the pharmaceutical anticonvulsive drugs, many of the children were put on the drugs and did not continue with the ketogenic diet. Unfortunately, to this day, there's about 20 or 30% of children that don't respond well to the drugs. And these children are still they're still using this ketogenic diet. That's how effective it is. Research died down after the pharmaceutical drugs came out. But in about the last 15 years, scientists have picked up the research again because they have thought to themselves that if ketone bodies can be effective for handling seizures, so it's effective for neurological disorders, maybe this can be extrapolated to other neurological disorders. And in fact, they have found that there can be benefit in Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, Lou Gehrig's disease, multiple sclerosis. It's being used now in these conditions. But there are other conditions that it benefits, and research is showing this. It can bring up your good cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, and bring down your blood pressure. It can regulate blood sugar and increase insulin sensitivity. How good is that for both cardiovascular disease and diabetes? And because it can do these things, it's being used for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and PCOS. So there are a lot of metabolic conditions that this diet can be used for, and knowing that there is an increase in these metabolic conditions, they're not decreasing. More and more people are getting these conditions despite the statins and the hypertensives and the beta blockers and the metformin that's out there. It's these conditions are still on the rise. So to have a diet that can decrease those high-risk markers is wonderful. It's even been shown to be very beneficial in cancer situations. And one of the main reasons is that it starves the cancer cells. Cancer cells rely on glucose for functioning. They can't use oxygen like our cells. So the more carbohydrates you provide in your diet, the more they've got to feed from. If you deprive the body of carbohydrates, or a large part of carbohydrates, then you're starving the cancer cells. Another benefit in regards to cancer is that it's muscle sparing. So for cancer victims that are suffering from cachexia, weight loss, and where they're wasted, where their muscles are being wasted, ketogenic diet can actually help with that, which is surprising because it's very beneficial for weight loss as well. Sorry for the noise outside. It's the garbage truck. So what is this ketogenic diet? Are you telling me that I have to increase fat? How am I going to lose weight if I have to increase fat? And you're also telling me it's good for cardiovascular disease, but it's high in fat? Nah, can't be. Unfortunately, the fat causing cardiovascular disease is a myth. And that myth was started off by a doctor called Dr. Ansel Keys, who had the theory, and it wasn't a silly theory, that if you put fat down a sink, it clogs your pipes. So if you eat fat, it's going to clog your arteries. So he decided, and he convinced the American Medical Association, that if you decrease fat and cholesterol, you will reduce cardiovascular disease. And everyone went on this bandwagon. Manufacturers produced many low-fat varieties of food, and even, the public were looking for low-fat varieties, and we were looking for margarines that brought down cholesterol, and statins are the biggest selling drug in the world, and most people over 50 are on statins, and yet cardiovascular disease is rising. So, and in fact, also, the studies are showing that it's not fat and it's not cholesterol. In fact, in regards to cholesterol, the aged people who had more cholesterol in their brain had less risk of dementia. So if you are someone that's got a metabolic condition or a pre-metabolic condition, is suffering from PCOS, are feeling lethargic and lacking energy, have got brain fog, have maybe got a neurological condition, I think you should look at the ketogenic diet. I think my program would really benefit you. You will feel less hungry on my program. You will have less cravings. You will have more energy. You will have less inflammation, less aches and pains. So if you are interested, register your interest on my website, www.naturopathsolutions.com.au, and we'll be so happy to have you and to share this program with you. Have a lovely day and see you next time.